What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Danny the Bull, back with a Friday afternoon live stream here to talk about altcoins, overall market, some of our favorite small caps like Metacade, Devve, Tectum, a lot of news surrounding all of these. Tectum held their AMA yesterday with CEO Alex. Didn't go according to plan. We'll talk about that later. Devve's been on an absolute tear. Metacade has ripped since last time I streamed. A lot of coins are doing well. Some of them aren't doing well. So, there a lot of things are flat still, but that's to be expected. We're going to talk about where we are right now in the cycle, where we think we're headed. And I think we're headed up soon, right? I think we're going to go up pretty soon. I think the alt season has started, but it just kind of, it's barely started, right? So plenty of good stuff in the market. Let's see who we got here. Base Lab in the house. What's going on, brother? Raven in the house. Let's go, Chuckers. We'll talk about Chuck some later. Also, some good Chuck developments. We'll talk about meme coins in general. Chuck. We got Vorgix in the house. What's good, brother? Hope you're well. Waldo in the house. How are you? Abu in the house. Yes, Naka. We'll talk about Naka. They had a recent development. I think it was yesterday. Naka's done pretty well. We'll take a look at Naka. I've been holding them for about a year or so. My crypto, not yours. Chuck to a buck. Yes, sir. Pixel in the house. Yeah. Ready for the Santa rally. Absolutely. Q1 is going to be bullish, right? So we'll talk about what's next. As always, be active in the chat. Waldo, be interested to see your take on TET. Yeah, absolutely. And I am likely to have some TET team members on the channel soon. I was just DMing someone. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have I should have some Tectum guys on the channel. I also just right now got confirmation from Enrico from Mint Layer. He's going to come on for another live stream. So we'll learn more about Mint Layer and what they're doing. So good things. And I'm going to have Russ from Mcade. Me and Ron are going to do an interview with Russ. So a lot of good things coming. I'm trying to produce some good content and, some informative content on the stuff that we like. B-Dubs in the house. What's good, brother? Appreciate you showing up. So I want to go over some news. I want to go over the overall market. Bitcoin at 101, I believe, right now. So I lost my screen. 101.5 on Bitcoin. Ethereum nearing $4,000. So we had a Bitcoin, some longs got liquidated last week, had some volatility, which happens, right? We need to be ready for volatility. We dropped from a high of 103 all the way down to 95, right? Which felt like a seismic drop. But look how quick it was eaten up, right? Right back to 100,000 real quick. Alts always go down harder, right? So the portfolios took a nice dip when those liquidations occurred. But we're back at 101.5. Like Pixel said, I would anticipate a Santa rally at the end of the year. Typically in December, the stock market, NASDAQ, S&P will put in 1.5 to 2% returns during what they call a Santa rally, which doesn't seem like much in the crypto space. But when you translate that into crypto, a 1% move in stock market is like a 5 to 10% move on our Bitcoin and our alts. So I think we're going to see a Santa rally. I think that sooner rather than later, we'll be seeing Bitcoin at about $120,000 or so. You know, we could always have dips and there's always going to be volatility, but I think heading into Trump's inauguration, I would anticipate 125 to $130,000 Bitcoin. I would anticipate Ethereum crossing over that $4,000. I think in January we'll see Ethereum take out its previous all-time high, possibly, right, of about 4,900. And I think once Ethereum takes out its previous all-time highs, I think it's going to juice alts a lot, right? I think that's going to really kickstart a lot of of alt season, because here we are. We just started, really. We picked up, went above this line, 75% on the heat map, which indicates when it's alt season. Below a 25 is Bitcoin season. And we were ranging in between here on the lower side, more leaning in Bitcoin season for many months, right? Just got above it in the last couple months, and then we just ticked up in November after Trump got elected. I think just in December, we crossed into what is officially called altcoin season, dipped back down. We're at a bit of resistance on alts. There was a good, I bookmarked, here it is. So we're at a bit of resistance on the overall alt market cap. You see, we're right back around where 2021 all-time highs were. So once we burst through this, it's going to be a little crazy for our altcoins. And in this early stage of alt season, what you typically see is the bigger caps move, right? Which we've seen with XRP and some other things. ADA had a nice run. A lot of the big caps, Avalanche, Dogecoin got up to 45 cents, 50 cents, I think. A lot of the bigger caps, here's Avalanche. A lot of these guys were popping. And then you'll see like sporadic popping of the smaller caps. And it's kind of like when you're making popcorn, right? You put the popcorn bag in the microwave and things start to pop slowly until they start popping all at once, right? So we didn't get to that popping all at once point, but things have started to move. And if your coins aren't moving, don't freak out. You need to have patience, right? A lot of people, I'm in a lot of chats. I'm in way too many chats. And people ask, how come this coin isn't moving? How come my coin isn't, everything else seems like it's flying. Not everything else is flying. There are a lot of things that still haven't gained momentum yet. They haven't really started to move. And when we're in the thick of things in alt season and everything is popping, right? Like when that popcorn bag really heats up and everything is popping, it's going to be hard to find things that haven't moved. If you remember back to earlier in the year, people were looking for bargains because everything had popped, everything had moved. Okay, so be patient still. I know it's hard when you're looking at things that are going up and it seems like everything is going up, but not everything is going up. All right, some of the bigger caps have moved. Some of the smaller caps have moved. Some of the AI stuff, Astra has moved. I'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about AI tech. I'm going to star this, Raven, and come back to this. AI tech has not really made a big move yet. They had some momentum, came back down to about 10 or 11 cents. But we're not yet in the part of the market where everything is popping off, right? But we will get there. It's just a matter of time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you look at all of the news, all right, it's all bullish. I love this appointment of David Sachs as the crypto czar, the first ever crypto czar. And if that's not bullish for this cycle, I don't know what is. The fact that we have a crypto czar for the first time in history, and they're going to be looking at common sense regulation. And if you're not familiar with David Sachs, I like him a lot. He's a co-founder of PayPal, part of PayPal Mafia. He's an early investor in a lot of big tech, what were big tech startups. I think he was an early investor in Facebook, but he's most recently, a lot of people will know him from the All In podcast. He sits alongside Chamath Palihapitiya and a couple other guys, and they produce a really good podcast. And he's pragmatic, he's smart, he's pro crypto, he's in on Solana. He's a big, I think he was a big investor. He might have been a VC investor in Solana. And so it's very bullish that you have someone like David Sachs, who not only is he, well informed and intelligent, he's not a bought and paid for politician. This is a guy who's been in business and understands crypto more importantly. And now he's designated for crypto czar. Super bullish. Love Paul Atkins nomination, SEC boss. This headline says it all. Crypto is getting the SEC boss it wanted in Paul Atkins. Every single appointment from, Vivek and Elon to these guys. And there's even the VP, what's his name? JD Vance, RFK. These guys are all pro crypto. They are all pro crypto. Look at the setup that we have in front of us. Let me get this stupid spinning wheel in front of this lady off of my screen. Look at the setup that we have in front of us. A post-halving year. Right now, Bitcoin in all-time highs right before alt season, with a crypto-friendly government replacing an anti-crypto government, rate cuts, and possibly money printing coming back in 2025. It's a perfect storm. I've said it before, and I think everyone here understands it. It's a perfect storm for an alt season. All right. So the hard part, there are two things that are difficult, right? One is buying when it's hard and living through the volatility of things going down and accumulating your bags when it feels like things are never going to go up again. That part is behind us. And if you did that already, then half of the job is accomplished. The other half of the job is going to be to sell, right? And take profits, because you don't want to be bag holding. Because as the year goes on, I anticipate a big alt season. I anticipate this cycle going to, I think we're going to get to, last time we got to $3 trillion market cap. Before that, it was 760 billion. I think we're going to go to, between a $6 to $9 trillion total market cap, which means we're going to see a bunch more billion-dollar assets, $500 million assets, and there's going to come a time to sell. You don't want to bag hold, because as these things happen, people are going to call for a super cycle. People are going to call for, now they're going to say that now that it's institutionalized, now that BlackRock has control, it's never going to go down. They're not going to let the price go down, and people are going to get screwed because everything runs in cycles, and they're, bull runs, and the game of musical chairs will come to an end. And so it's important to take those profits. And that's the second part that's hard. All right. Sorry, I'm just answering. I'm just setting up a stream. All right. It's going to be exciting. And again, look at other headlines. Japanese lawmaker whose name is Satoshi Yamada asked the Japanese government whether it could convert part of its foreign exchange reserves into Bitcoin or another token. Texas House introduces bill to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? That long-term thesis, that long-term plan for Bitcoin, we're seeing it play out in real time, and we're all going to benefit. The people who have been here, who have believed in this space, who have withstood the pain that this space, only this space can deliver to you, right? Where it can give you a 10x, a 50x gain, and then just take it back so quick, right? There's no other space like this. It's about to explode. This week, last week, part of the dip on last week, there was some FUD and fear about Google's breakthrough with quantum computing, their new chip called Willow, which reportedly is a breakthrough for quantum computing, which is a potential threat to Bitcoin, but not now, right? Maybe in 5-10 years, this will be a threat to Bitcoin and crypto in general, because they'll need to upgrade and make things quantum proof and quantum resistant. For now, this is just something that to keep an eye on, but it's been something to keep an eye on. And if you look at what's interesting, I've been covering Devve on this channel. Look how Devve has popped. This is over the last month, up almost 200%. From the bottom, this was at 16 cents. Okay, and we were buying this at 16 cents, and it was hard. Trust me, it was hard, because I was also buying this like $1. Okay, I bought this like $1. I bought it at 75 cents. And then this got absolutely punished because they had a bunch of unlocks, right? This came out at the wrong time, right? Right before the market dumped. So it pumped to $2. It was a highly anticipated release, pumped, and then the market tanked, right? And altcoins tanked and went down all the way to 16 cents, 14 cents on this. And now look at it, 76 cents. Why? In part because Devve is quantum proof, supposedly. It's not out yet. But it's supposed to be a quantum resistant chain. And I bring it up for a couple of reasons. One is I like Devve for that, for a number of reasons. The narrative, I love a good layer one. That's why I like Tectum. I like big infrastructure plays like Mint Layer. So those are my three. But you see how fast momentum can change, right? And so if your coin's not doing much, Devve was performing horrifically during the summer. It just couldn't get couldn't catch a break in terms of price action, right? But momentum breeds momentum. And look at it now, 76 cents, and now it's flipping this to support. And still only a $60 million market cap for layer one that could do really well. And so, well, now's a good time to talk about Tectum also. I like Devve, I like Tectum, and I like Mint Layer. Those are three of my, like I said, plays that I think could go into billions. And I don't know that they will, but they could. Tectum I've talked about a lot. It's a layer one, the fastest, has the highest transaction proven TPS, 3.5 million TPS per second. Blockchain goes live on the 31st of December. So in a few weeks, their blockchain goes live. They've got their soft note technology, which is said to revolutionize Bitcoin payments, make things private, fast, secure, and precise. And they had their AMA with Alex, their CEO, just yesterday. All right. And if you look at the chart, people were expecting exciting news because Tectum has a lot of exciting things that are possibly around the corner, like their blockchain, like a partnership with, a nation. And I think it's United Arabs, right? United Arab Emirates, UAE. They've got a partnership. They've got a stable coin they're producing potentially for a nation. I don't know. or for their own blockchain. But the point is, they've got all these catalysts. They have an all-time high of $45 back in January. This has all the potential of something that could go to the billions. And people were, anticipating that AMA yesterday. It went to $10 at the start of the AMA, and look at it. Went down to $7.65 shortly thereafter. And the reason for that is the response to the AMA, right? So if you're not familiar, Alex, the CEO, talked about a new product that they are unveiling, and I don't know if it's on their website. They've got a new product that's basically, I think it's called Synthesnote. Yeah, Synthesnote. It's supposed to be a hedge against inflation for nations. And during the AMA, he posed a question of whether or not they should create another token to go alongside that product. And what that did was create a lot of confusion. People freaked out. Rightfully so, because of the way it was presented, right? Without a lot of information, without the ability to really get into it. And it ended up leaving people with more question marks than answers. And people don't like that. They don't like doubt, especially when their token is not yet popping, right? And they think, why isn't this moving yet? Not everything is moving yet. I talked about that before. So I have not been concerned with Tectum's price action. But the way that was communicated was not ideal, and it left people with more questions. It left people thinking that maybe they're not going to focus on Tectum. Maybe Tectum is not going to benefit from this new product. And when you couple the idea that the chart hasn't pumped yet, and you put that alongside, the idea that now they're, pivoting to a new coin, it leaves people frustrated. And so the chart dumped to $7.65. And people asked me yesterday in DMs what I thought. And I thought it was short-term bearish, long-term it doesn't matter. That's what I think. I don't think it matters long-term. I think long-term Tectum, this cycle, when I say long-term, I mean over the next 12 months. No one knows what's going to happen, but I have not lost any faith in Tectum. I think it still has the same narrative that it had when I invested in it. Fastest blockchain, soft node technology. So it's got those two things going for it. Connections to UAE. And so my thesis has not changed on it, right? It's just short-term noise. And again, look at Devve and how fast things can change. Well, what's going on here? Look how fast. Oh, that's not it. Here it is. Right, how fast things can change. Where Devve was in the dumps forever and then quickly did a 5x. You look at Tectum earlier in the year, it was kind of lagging also. Look how fast it made this move. So the point is, and this is a point in general, don't worry if your bags, if you have a conviction play and you've done your research and you've formulated a thesis that you think something's going to perform well in alt season and it hasn't yet, don't panic. Because when the move comes, it comes violently, right? You'll see things do 5Xs in a short amount of time. And people were talking about Metacade. I was getting so many DMs on Metacade. All through here. I was getting DMs. And people asking, what's going on with Metacade? Is it still going to go up? And Metacade even lagged early in the year. Metacade was lagging behind Games for a Living, Naka, Miria. It seemed like the only gaming token, playable games, that everything was pumping. Game Swift. It seemed like one of the only ones that wasn't was Metacade. All right, but if you've done your research and you have a long-term thesis, then you need to stick to your thesis and not pivot from fear and emotion, and be diversified and protect yourself. Not everything will play out the way you expect it to, right? But patience pays off. And when the move happens, oftentimes it's very violent to the upside. And we saw that with Tectum, with Metacade, which did a 10x off its bottom Metacade went down to 0.004, if you remember. I think it was after the hack of the exchange. What was that? Was that Bitmart? I don't remember what exchange it was. But Metacade was taken from the exchange and dumped on the market. It went down to 0.004. It almost hit 5 cents yesterday again. Right, look at the all-time chart. It's a nice Wu-Tang symbol. All right, look at this Wu-Tang's the W. All right, and now it's at resistance because this is the previous all-time high. So it's going to take a few attempts to burst through this. But when it does, it's off to new all-time highs. Right, and we were at about a $70 or $80 million market cap. This is going to close in on a $100 million market cap, and it'll be a clean 10x from the bottoms. And we're early. And so accumulate your conviction plays and be patient. And I think Metacade, I wanted to talk about how high Metacade can go. I think someone had asked that up above, but you have to think about an exit strategy, right? And the way I think about exit strategies is I work backwards. And I think, where do I anticipate it going? What's the potential? You can't predict where it's going to go. So I'm not locking in on a market cap. But you need to figure out how high it could go. Based on last cycle, gaming tokens the best performers went to 4 billion, 7 billion. 7 billion was Axie Infinity. To be an Axie Infinity, you need to go viral. You need to have that virality to it, which is catches fire, and it gets on tier 1 exchanges. Gala also got on tier 1 exchanges. So to get to those high elite market caps within the sector you need tier 1 exchanges, and you need normies to be buying it. I remember last cycle, my niece's friend, I was talking to her about, she said, I was talking to someone about crypto, and she said she was buying. And I asked her what she was buying, and one of them was Mana. She knew absolutely nothing about crypto. But normies were buying those things. That's why they got to market caps of 7 billion. So for Metacade to get that high, for any gaming token to get that high, you're talking about tier 1 exchanges. You're talking about normies buying. I don't think about Metacade getting that high. I think that would have to be, catch, like lightning in a bottle sort of thing. But I do think it can get pretty high. And let me zoom in. Where's my zoom format? Oh, zoom. So we're almost at 100 million now, and we're early in the cycle. Before, I used to think of 500 million for Mcade as a difficult, something that was in the upper, a very bullish scenario, because 26 cents at $500 million market cap is, let me do the math. It was 0.004. It's about a 50x off of the floor. It's more than that. This so $500 million market cap is like a 55x off the floor of half a penny, which is very solid, right? And I wasn't sure if it would get there. I have more confidence in a $500 million market cap now for Metacade because it's getting that confirmation from the market, right? You're almost at 100 million and we still have all this time in front of us, right? We still have all this time in front of us. And so I think that 26 cents for Metacade is now very achievable. I don't want to say conservative, but it's still bullish, but very achievable and more achievable than I thought it was. I have more confidence in that number than I did 2 months ago. And then those bigger numbers get into play. I think that at 750 million, 40 cents, 50 cents is in play for Metacade. Does it get there? Don't know. Could it get to 1.5 billion, 80 cents? I think it's possible. All right, we'll see. That would be 80 cents is now a 20x from where we're at. A 20x from here. It's possible, and we're going to see. But my point is, my profit-taking strategy is going to be to incrementally eat off of my bags at strategic market caps, right? 10% here, 10%, whatever it is. Map it out and take profits along the way. But I do think that $1 billion is in play, and I think it's more likely, Metacade is more likely to hit $1 billion today than I thought it was. If you asked me that 2 months ago, I would say that was improbable. After seeing the confirmation that it's getting now from the market and all that, I think it's more likely than it was. But time will tell. Medicaid program for billions. We are going to see. The thing about it is, things can go higher than people expect, right? And by that, I don't mean like Medicaid's going to like $50 billion market cap. But, $1 billion seems like a big number, 2 billion. But it's within reason for the sector, right? Those are reasonable, not expectations, but possibilities, right? Could happen. So you have to be prepared for all scenarios, including it overshooting what you thought it could do, right? Because there's such a thing as selling too early also. And so if you don't have an idea of where it can go and how high it could go, you might sell too early, right? And so it's good to think about these things, but try to stay away from, locking in a price. OG Vault says, I like Tectum, but I hadn't bought yet. Now I got to find the new altcoin. Yeah, I mean, if you don't, you got to buy something. There are a lot to choose from, by the way. I talk about a lot of the same ones because that's what I know and that's what I study, and those are the ones that I hold. But by no means are these the only altcoins. There are hundreds of them. And many of them are going to produce big gains, and many of them are going to outperform. There are many things that I don't hold that are going to outperform things that I hold. It's part of the game, right? You place your bets on, you put your chips on the table, form your thesis for why you like a project, and then see where it goes. But, I have not been shaken from my Tectum thesis. right? I have not been, my resolve has not been shaken yet. I'm also diversified. So if I held like 3 coins or 2 coins and I was like, my bag was heavy in one, then, you know, you that's when you can open yourself up to doubt and fear, right? And that, but, you know, Tectum is one of 15 of my positions. And so I'm comfortable in sitting through the, you know, the uncertainty or whatever FUD is happening right now as a result of the AMA, because my long-term thesis is it has the potential to get to a $5 billion market cap. You know, it's a layer one. Look at the good layer ones, the ones that have made it. You're talking about Near went to 20 billion. Look at Sui right now is at 13. It's going to go to 90. They get big. They get to big market caps. And I don't know that Tectum gets there, but I threw my money at Tectum, Devve, and Mint Layer as 3 coins that could potentially get to those big valuations. And if one of them does, then I'm going to be really well off as a result. That's my thinking. And just to look at layer ones, wanted to look at layer ones, but like there are other ones that I don't even know how they're doing. Like Say was one that was popping off. Even Say, I don't hear anyone talking about Say anymore. It was hot for a period of time. It's at a $2.4 billion market cap. It went to an all-time high of probably $6 billion. Aptos is another one. $7 billion market cap. Again, there are a lot of layer ones. I don't know that Tectum gets there, but the risk reward for something like it, I like the setup. And we're going to see how it does, how Devve does. And Mark Myers asks about Mint Layer. So I'm just as you, the 27th, 28th. All right. Sorry, I was just DMing Enrico from Mint Layer to set up an interview for December, a couple weeks from now. I have seen Mint Layer being talked about by influencers. And I forgot to bookmark it. And I know that they are ramping up. They're going to ramp up their marketing. This is ICO Labs, 14,000 followers. Who's Supremo? Is this? No, there's someone else I saw with like 300,000 followers on X. He's not coming up. But yes, I have noticed influencers talking about Mint Layer, and I do think it's part of their marketing campaign, which is bullish. It's what you want to see. And you know, I've been in the Mint Layer Telegram, and back here there's a lot of fear in November. A lot of people talking about the price. Why isn't it moving? And then it doubled and went to 20 cents. It's since come down to 14 cents. But, it's one that, again, I think can do very well. This is not a layer 1. It's a side chain for Bitcoin. It's a layer 2, but it also ticks the box of RWA because it opens the door for Bitcoin liquidity to be used for DeFi and real world assets. And so if I were Mint Layer, I would be marketing the hell out of the RWA aspect of the product, because 4 major narratives this cycle: AI, gaming, RWA, and memes, right? Those are the 4 major narratives, and Mint Layer taps into can fit into that RWA narrative. Couple that with the Bitcoin narrative, right? With institutionalization of Bitcoin and being able to scale it and working as a side chain and open it to DeFi, the narrative is perfect for Mint Layer. And I focus only on narrative, and I treat utility tokens kind of like meme coins in a way, right? Because the technology oftentimes isn't ready yet. Like last cycle, people were talking about metaverse, and Decentraland, and there were 5 people in Decentraland, but it went to an $8 billion market cap because everyone was talking about metaverse and the narrative was hot. So they're all kind of like, they're speculative assets, and you're buying what you think other people will want to buy, and people want to buy RWA plays this cycle, and Mint Layer fits in. They also have a catalyst on the way with their atomic swaps. Their DEX is dropping. Atomic is going live, I believe, in mid-January, and I'm going to ask Enrico about all this stuff in late December. And get some alpha for people who like Mark, who like Mint Layer. And the great thing about Mint Layer is you can stake it, and I'm earning 60% yield on it. That will go down in time, but 60% yield just for holding it. And I've been earning, hundreds of tokens every week. So it's good stuff. Let's see. Get to this one. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We got almost 40 people in here. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member if you're not already, for a cup of coffee a month. I'm going to do a giveaway next week. I think I'm going to give away $100 in some meme tokens, some Chuck, maybe some Blue, and some other things to channel members. I'll do the spinny wheel thing. So support the channel. I'm going to do giveaways and give all the money back. I'll do $100 in giveaways in the week of Christmas, following Christmas. But you got to be a channel member. All right, let's see what else. AI tech. Yeah, I like AI tech. I don't think they're stalling, as it seems it's taking a long time to even show what their data center looks like. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the data center. I have seen them taking their time in building it. So I don't know what's going on there. But I do know that you can stall in a market as long as you're doing things and moving the needle in marketing and in, partnerships and developments. Then, it doesn't have to be built this cycle even. They just have to partner. They need to move the, launch. They have to use their launch pad, things like that. They've got their AI and GPU marketplace. They've got AI platform. They have a launch pad. They have staking. And so I like the narrative. I like that, on their roadmap is they have $2 billion on their roadmap, which is funny. But I like AI tech. It hasn't. The thing about AI tokens also is you don't know like what's vaporware, what's like, real. And as long as they're not exposed during the cycle, then it is, you're good. I think that a lot of them are going to get to billions in market cap. Astra AI is one I've been holding for a year now, and it's popped hard over the last. If you look at Astra, this is up 150% over the last month. I was patient with this. I've been holding it for a while. It just got to a $30 million market cap. This was at 10 million. Right? All-time high is about $4. But if you look at what they've done recently, here we go. They just secured, no, that's not it. They just secured $20 million commitment to help scale their products and really do marketing. They've got partners with 150 influencers. I think they have like an Astra Bank they're building, and they've got a landmark deal with a UAE royal family member. So, narrative-wise, I always liked Astra AI. And it was lagging. And it was down. And then it made a big move up. And it's now about to flip my AI tech bag. So I always liked AI tech more than Astra, but Astra is now performing better for me. But I like AI tech. I think AI tech is going to, barring anything crazy happening, and like I said, I don't know, who knows what goes on under the hood of some of these things. This went to 45 cents. We got in on this at under 5 cents. Got to 45. I think it's been consolidating quite nicely. So the chart looks healthy. I think it will blow past 45 cents. I have no fear that AI tech won't get to new all-time highs. Yeah, I'm not in Fed AI. I remember I was considering buying it. Joss, what's going on, brother? Master Yi in the house. MLC. I don't know MLC. Bing X, that was the Metacade. Harish in the house. What's going on? SoCal, what's going on, brother? Yeah, OG Vault's not impressed with Medicaid's games. I mean, they're simple games meant for, they're not, they don't produce a AAA game. They are partnered with Wilder World. They partnered with Superverse. Their games are mobile games, simple games, built for tournaments. But they've got strong leadership. They've got strong community. They're building out the branding. They have an ambassador program now. So they've pressed all the right buttons. All right. I did talk about TET already, brother. Joss is going to stop working when Metacade hits 80 cents. So is Timo. What's good, Kay? What else? Kyle Chase. Oh, yes. It was Kyle Chase who posted about Mint Layer. That's who I was thinking about. Boreai, definitely eat Clanker Bottom, same as I did with Metacade. Better have an eye on that one. Yep. What's good, Caro? And we talked about patience and, meme coins and things like that. And another thing I don't know if people looked at Ski Mask Dog. It's at a $250 million market cap. We talked about Chuck. We were talking about Chuck earlier. A lot of people are in blue as well. Ron did the tokenomics on that. And look at something like Ski Mask Dog that launched, I want to say, right after Chuck. Didn't go to quite the same all-time high, but was sold off and was at $1 million to $2 million market cap forever. All right, just like Chuck, all summer long, August, September, October, until in November, I think it was found to be in some senator's wallet or something. And then it just blew up, and it did like a 300x in a matter of weeks in November. All right, so it did nothing for months. And actually, Chuck beat Ski Mask Dog in a competition, in an online competition. Ski Mask Dog lost to Chuck. All right, but look at what happened when an unforeseen catalyst of a politician having it in their wallet. And then I know YouTuber Brian Jung, who's got about 300,000 subscribers, he jumped on it and said it was the next whiff. I don't know if he helped move the price, but before you knew it, this was at a $300 million market cap. And so sometimes you just have to find things that you like and park your money in there and wait. It won't always end up like this, right? But imagine you had a good bag of this and you believed in it and had a strong community, and then you sold, and then it did a 300x. And now that it's at a $250 million market cap, with the bull run in front of us and liquidity about to pour in, this is going to get to $1 billion. Right? What's $1 billion from 1 million is like that's 1,000x, right? So there are lessons all over the place. Patience is key. Find coins, communities that are strong, that you like, that you believe in. Park your money and be patient. Boria says, show us Clanker AI agent on CoinMarketCap. Is it this? I don't know. Is this what it is? I know AI agents were popping off. Oh, don't. I sold Astra AI last month and it pumped now. Yeah, that's what it is. I know it's not easy, right? It's not easy to. I try not to jump, and sometimes I'll miss out on things because I don't like selling a conviction play to buy a new conviction play, because oftentimes I'm buying a new conviction play because it already went up or people are talking about it. And then what you had, pops. And so I try not to do that. I'm still holding PAL AI, which I'm still up on. And it's a super small market cap. Paladin AI is still under $2 million market cap. And I got a decent bag of this because I bought this below, I want to say, a $1 million market cap. I think I got this. I think Ron put this out, or someone put this out in Ron's group, just under $1 million in the very beginning. And I just held it. I have no idea what they've been up to be quite honest. but I know that they've held relatively well considering, market conditions. They never really dipped back to my entry price. And so I've just held them because I'll sell this. If I sell this and I get bored of it and I sell it, it'll go to a $100 million market cap. And then that's a 50x because it's only a $1.8 million market cap. So I try not to, that's my strategy, is just find things that I like in a first cycle coin in a sector that I think is going to be hot. That seems like a good project with a good team, and park the money in there, let it sit. Clanker on base. I'll check him out. I've heard of them. Or so it was the one that I was looking at. Clanker. Yeah. Where'd it go? All right. Yeah, base is going to do well. I think everyone agrees that base is going to onboard a lot of normies. What up, HG? You can't beat Chuck for its meme ability. I can make memes for a Chuck a lot easier than, yeah. And the good thing about Chuck is that he fits in with other, like you could put him in any situation, right? Chuck jokes are coming up on their 20th anniversary. 2005, the first Chuck facts appeared on a Reddit subgroup. And this is the Chuck chart. And so we'll wait and see what happens. But, the good thing about Chuck is that you'll see that this line right here used to be resistance. And we were below it and we're bumping up against it. And now it's turned into support. And so hopefully this is, a new bottom and bounces off. Had momentum a couple of times. This was the Coinbase. This right here was Coinbase tweeting something random about Chuck. Might be Chuck in terms of what's Coinbase going to list next. And they wrote, what's the ticker? Someone wrote, what's the ticker? And it was like a cowboy on a chart. And someone responded, might be Chuck from the Coinbase account. Caused this pump up to about 5 million, did about 2.5x. Came back down over here, gained momentum again, lost it a bit. But you never know what that spark's going to be to light a match, right? And then sometimes these things catch fire. Blue is another one. Blaze Blue aliens are all over the timeline. I don't think this has really had a good run yet. Got to about 3 million in the first few days. Sold off, double bottoming here at about a little over $1 million market cap. But this looks similar to early days of Chuck. So we'll see what happens. The thing about meme coins is once they catch hard, right? So part of it is luck. Part of it is hard work by a community. So we'll see. Base gem. Clanker, USDT, the supply shock will be epic. At this point, Clanker has better ROI than most of meme coins. Yeah. What's interesting is that there are some people who I found that there are some people who only buy meme coins, and then there are some people who only buy utility coins. And then some dabble, right, in both. The meme space is wild, man. There are so many. And but when they perform, the good thing about a good meme coin is that, we talk about realistic prices for tokens. And like if you're in the gaming sector, right, you can expect like those elite projects to get to 5 billion, 7 billion. If you catch an elite meme, which is really hard, right? You're talking about like Brett, Pepe. You're talking about 40, 50 billion, $70 billion market cap for those, a select few, Shiba Inu. But I think this cycle, there are going to be more that get into the 10, 20 billion range, right? Giga Chad. I don't know where that's at. The S&P one that Murad pushes, there are going to be many that get into the billions. Ponky will, I think, get, what's Ponky at? Ponky is something that I bought at a $30 million market cap, and I wish I held it. It's at 250. But I think Ponky is something that could, from here, it could still 100x. It could get to like a $20 billion market cap. Like Ponky will get to a billion, right? But if you get a 2.5 billion is a 10x. Some of these, some meme coins get explosive. And so it's good to have exposure to all of these sectors. You see, before I wrap it up, I'm going to wrap it up soon unless you guys have anything else in the chat. But this is, we talked about Tectum before. I forgot to pull this up. They kind of cleaned up their comms, their communication today. And this is the way that you explain something, okay? By reiterating their commitment to the token, they talk about they're launching the blockchain and with the full developer toolkit, and that's still on the way soon. They give an overview of the Synthesnote project, and then talk about TED token being the main token of the network, all right? And Synthesnet being a product being released on the Tectum blockchain. And so, and they also talk about airdrop opportunities for TED holders. And so this is a much more palatable, well-packaged form of communication than just putting it out there as a question and leaving more questions than answers during an AMA. So, I would like for Tectum to kind of clean things up in terms of communications, but, I like the narrative. I really like the potential. And, at $8, I think is in a good range. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, here, Naka. I talked about Naka before. So this news on Nakamoto Games. Naka goes all in on Google Play. So they're the first ever play to earn venture. All their games are going live on Google Play for PC. This December, we're rolling out our mobile app for both Android and iOS. Then on February 10th, Google Play will host PC editions of all our Android games. So Naka is another one. I hold Naka and Metacade as my two biggest gaming tokens. Naka has always had a bigger market cap. I always felt it was a safer bet. $133 million market cap. All-time high of about $4 to $5. Came out at the end of last cycle, so it hasn't really seen a full cycle. And it's going to blow past that all-time high. Right? This is something that I think could get into billions as a game. This was at like 75 cents. Yeah. Even if you look at a month ago, it was, on November 20th, it was 90 cents. If you go back to the lows, 75 cents on September 7th. So it was in this accumulation range. I accumulated some Naka. I think it can go to, $10, $20. Harish says 40. It's possible. Let's pull up the Naka chart. Let's see. Did I do it? I didn't make it. Let me look at an old one. Naka. $40 would put it at about a $7 billion market cap. It's possible. I think they would need tier ones to do it. So it's possible that it can get to $40. And the thing about it is, again, I showed this last stream I did. If you look at pre-alt season to all-time highs last cycle, Mana did a 59x, Chili's did a 541x. And this is not the bottom, right? This is not like the Mana bottom last cycle. This is like the November before alt season to their all-time high. So you're going to see a bunch of these things do 20, 30, 40 X's from their pre-alt price. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Optimus. Yeah, let's look up Optimus. This Optimus, 94K. Shield you tell at the bottoms now it's about to become the only digital asset bank in the U.S. approved by government. Look at Boria flexing his receipts. Tell. Let's see. It's done about a 7x, 6x from the bottom. Nice. Good one. Nice one. And that's the thing. There are going to be so many coins that are not even on your radar that are going to do things like this. You can't catch them all, right? But eventually, stay with your conviction plays. Do your research. Pick coins in good sectors that you think will perform well. And you will be rewarded once we get right up in here. Because when alt season really kicks in and everything starts popping off, it could last a good 4 months of just up only for, not only, but, up mostly for our favorite alts. So it's going to be fun. I want to thank you all for coming through to a live stream. I'll have a bunch of things going on. Like I said, I got 3 streams in the works with project founders. Got Enrico from Layer. I got Tectum team members and Russ from Mcade coming on the channel over the course of the next few weeks. As always, hope you all have a good one. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. I will see you in the next one. See you guys.